Tearing down a dirt road, rebel flag flying, coon dog in the back. Truck bed loaded down with beer and a cold one in my lap. Earnhardt sticker behind my head and my woman by my side. Tailpipes popping, the radio's rocking, country boy can survive. If you got a problem with that, you can kiss my country ass.
From 1958 to 1984, the city of Nashville played host to the biggest names in NASCAR, as Fairgrounds Speedway was a staple of the annual Cup Series calendar. 9 of Richard Petty's 200 career victories came in Nashville's 42 Cup events, while all-time track win record holder Darrell Waltrip scored 8 of his 67 career Fairgrounds victories at the Cup level. But the history of racing in Nashville actually dates back nearly a century, as some of the top drivers of the Indianapolis 500 in the 1910s would bring their cars down to the track for events held alongside the State Fair. Originally a dirt oval of just over a mile, the track was converted in 1957 to a half-mile paved oval and lengthened to its current .596-mile layout just over a decade later. In recent years, proving yourself at the Fairgrounds has been a surefire way to get noticed in NASCAR, with names like Waltrip, Bobby Allison, Earnhardt, Elliott, and Sterling Marlin on the entry list. Taking a win at a Nashville show means you've got the skills to pay the bills. Tonight, it's race number 10 of the PSRA Open ARCA Series, and it's next on Track Limits Network.
Well, there's a whole lot of high-class people out there that's looking down on me. Cause a country club where I belong is a honky-tonk till 3 in the morning. Don't wear no fancy clothes.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway Race 10, Season 2, the PSRA Open ARCA Series. Race details tonight, 175 laps the distance. Stage break at lap 40. 100% fuel on board, unlimited tire sets available, 0 fast repairs available, 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Air temperature 79 degrees, 59% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 8-mile-per-hour breeze, and track temp at 84 degrees. Nice and cool here under the lights. Practice just wrapping up here at the Speedway. We'll take a look at some of the top times. Will Jones fastest with a 17.939. A.J. Rogers, David Bradford, Will Hewitt, Bobby Hamilton Jr., your top 5 as the session winds down. "30 seconds remain in practice for the black and red flags will drop. We'll get right into qualifying immediately thereafter. There it is. Clock is at 0. Session in the books. Qualifying begins. Mike Fahey, the first driver to take to the Speedway. Mike Fahey on the clock here, halfway through his first lap, into turns 3 and 4. First lap for Fahey, 18.301, puts him second quick on the board to Will Hewitt's 23. A.J. Rogers now goes to the point. Second lap quicker for Fahey with a 28. Meanwhile, A.J. Rogers goes to the point with a 1.91. Across the stripe, lap number 2. It's quicker, 18.071 for the number 57 machine. Will Jones quickest in practice with an 18.084 on his first lap. Currently sits on the outside pole. Lap 2 in the books. Goes P1 under 18 seconds, 17.899 seconds for Will Jones. $18.598 for Matt Nicholson. He goes one and done. Oh, DW Derek Welch hard off of turn 4, gets the wall. That's going to hurt both laps. See if he can salvage a decent time out of that. Broke his momentum to finish lap 1, which kills the starting pace of that second lap. Keeps it clean this time. Cross the stripe. He'll get a lap in here. Fourth quick, though, 18.21. Corey Bigley now way up the top of the racetrack with some momentum out of 4 to start his lap. Oh, a little too hot into turns 1 and 2. Slides up the racetrack. Doesn't hit anything, but that's going to kill the first lap for Bigley. Try it again here. Get a second attempt. $21.177. First lap in the books for Corey Bigley. Again, a bit of a moment into turns 1 and 2 on his first lap, so that's why that lap time is as long as it was. We'll see if he picks it up here on his second turn. And Bigley just misses it. 18.045 outside pole for the 58. David Bradford now takes the green flag. Fifth quick for David Bradford. A little loose off of 4 on his first lap. Little lift crossing the stripe. Keeps it straight, though. Lap 2 for David Bradford. Fourth quick, 18.090 for the number 13 machine. 6 drivers have yet to take a time. Alan DeFries, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Mark Truxell, Tom Barish, Josh Ingram, and Keenan Kimber. Session about to expire. They may opt to start towards the back. Of course, there could be some penalties involved as well. Let's take a look, see if I can find that. There's one for certain. Bobby Hamilton Jr. starting from the rear with no qualifying due to an accident last week and then not taking an EOL. Qualifying in the books, Will Jones will end up taking the pole position here from Nashville Fairgrounds. So let's get a look at it here. Our starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 17.899 seconds. It's the 46 of Will Jones. Outside front row from Velocity Motorsports. Missed it by almost a tenth and a half. Corey Bigley. Row number 2, A.J. Rogers in the Stinger Motorsports 57, and David Bradford in the number 13. Row 3, Cole Ansley and Derek Welch. Row number 4, Dominic Bettini and the 33 of Will Hewitt. Row number 5, Mike Fahey and Frank Griffith. Starting 11th, it's the 15 machine of Vincent Short with Matt Nicholson to his right elbow. 13th starter, it's Keenan Kimber. Bobby Hamilton Jr. credited with P14. I think he will have to drop to the back to start this one. Mark Truxell, 15th. 16th starter, it's Josh Ingram. 17th starter, it's the 71 of Alan DeFries. And 18th, last but not least, the 055 of Tom Barish. It's your starting grid here from Nashville Fairgrounds. We'll get rolling here momentarily. 2 pace laps before we get underway. Take a look at the race details again. If you missed it in the open, it's 79-degree evening here, 64% humidity, partly cloudy. Breeze has died down a bit to 3 miles per hour. Track temp cooling as well, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Race distance this evening, 175 laps. Stage break at the completion of lap 40. Full load of fuel on board and unlimited sets of tires available over the wall. No fast repairs and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Field formed up 2 by 2 as they work down the back straightaway. Pace car lights are out, so the next time across the starter stand, we will be racing.
Green flag.
Pace car is in, green flag in the air, and we are underway from the fairgrounds. First lap in the books. Will Jones leads it. Battle for second is on. Corey Bigley, A.J. Rogers, second and third as they run down the back straightaway. In behind them, Colt Ansley, David Bradford.
Caution.
And the caution is out. Keenan Kimber with a moment here. Looks like a problem off of turn number 4. Doesn't look to have too much damage, if any. Let's check on, see what happened there to Keenan Kimber to put us under our first yellow of the evening. A quick one here as it's lap 3. Kimber just gets the left sides on the flat of the racetrack there. Gets him crossed up a little bit. Might have been a little contact from Matt Nicholson. Nevertheless, he goes around. Just recently got this one underway. 3 laps of green before the yellow came out. Simple spin for the 65 of Keenan Kimber. Didn't make any contact, so no damage to be concerned with his machine. Lights extinguished on the iRacing pace car means we are on the one to go. We'll be back green flag racing here at lap 8. Front row is going to be Will Jones and Corey Bigley. Another opportunity for the 58. See if he's got anything for the 46. A.J. Rogers, Colt Ansley, David Bradford, your top 5. Further down the line, Derek Welch, 6th. Dominic Bettini, Will Hewitt, Mike Fahey, Frank Griffith. Pace car is in.
Green flag.
Will Jones out to the early lead yet again. Now a side-by-side battle with Bigley and A.J. Rogers. They run side-by-side off of turn 4. Jones almost up into the wall off of turn 4, but still side-by-side for the second spot. Bigley up the racetrack, has to lift just a bit, loses some grip. Opens the door for Rogers, move to 57 up into the second spot. Now Colt Ansley looking for it as well. He wants third. Bigley having some trouble up there at the top of the racetrack, trying to get some grip and get the power down. Gets it now to the low side of the racetrack. Big run for Colt Ansley in the middle of 1 and 2. He's got David Bradford breathing down his neck. I'll be all right. On board with Colt Ansley, the driver's eye camera, the number 86 machine, as he runs in behind the 58 of Bigley. And we got Albert Anderson in the stream chat. Says, what's up, Steve? Let's go, DW, Mark, and Tom. Talked to Colt Ansley last week after a top 3 performance. Looking forward to the short track here in Nashville. Definitely likes these smaller race courses. Has had some success in the SCAR Super Late Model Series back in the day. Now Bradford going to work the top side of the racetrack real loose in 4, and he hangs on to it. Bradford's going to lose some spots, though, but keeps the race car intact. Now he's side-by-side there with DW, Derek Welch. Bradford having trouble. Oh, and Alan DeFries around on the backstretch. Might have smacked the wall with the left side, but we continue on with no caution. Meanwhile, through all that, we have a battle for the lead here as Rogers gets to the inside of Will Jones into turn number 3. Retakes or just takes the top spot. Jones trying to cross over, but not enough of a run to do so. Runs in the tire tracks to the 57. Jones back to P2. While battling with Colt Ansley, David Bradford had a moment, almost lost the car, and is now slipped back into the 8th position. He's got to try and cool those tires down a bit. It's not so much that they wear, but they do get a little tricky if they get overheated. And it is difficult to cool them back down, especially if you're out there under green. Obviously, caution laps would certainly help that, but we don't have that right now. As he runs in behind Will Hewitt, almost gets into the back of the 33, takes the opportunity and the position. Move Bradford up to 7th. Now Mike Fahey trying to apply some pressure to the 33 of Will Hewitt. Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s got his own ideas. He's down to the outside of Mike Fahey. Remember, Bobby started at the back. Not a surprise to see that 25 machine knifing its way through the field. Bobby's got more laps here than I think every driver combined, if you even include on the sim. Home race for Bobby Hamilton Jr. Oh, one car in trouble. Might have been Matt Nicholson. Indeed, it was. Matt had a moment there in turn 4. Ended up putting the left side in the pit wall. Doesn't look too bad. A little bit of fender damage on the nose, actually, of that 10 machine. Bobby Hamilton Jr. now to the bottom of the racetrack. Still hasn't been able to get this pass completed with Mike Fahey, but now switches it up as Vincent Short now also gets the wall in turn 4. Oh, real close quarters. Off of turn 2, Bobby and Mike Fahey almost making contact. Oh, there's some contact. Bobby opens the wheel up and gets into the 19 in the middle of 1 and 2, takes the spot, crossing over, looking back to the bottom. Fahey wanted it back, but not enough of a run to get it done. Now Frank Griffith sets his sights on the number 19. .28 laps in the books here at Nashville Fairgrounds as we close in on the stage. Again, lap 40, the completion of lap 40. Now Dominic Bettini to the inside of Will Hewitt, unable to get the pass done there out of turn 4, but has the pace right now. Right on board with Will Hewitt. Bobby Jr. continues to work his way forward, gets to the bottom on Dominic Bettini. This would be for the 7th position if he can complete this pass. And he's got it done. I want to go on board of Mike Fahey here and take a look at the back bumper of Dominic Bettini. Get a little closer, we can see who that is. I think it might be Junior, I don't know. Five laps away from the stage break here at Nashville Fairgrounds. A.J. Rogers continues to lead, but Will Jones back on the attack. Gets to the inside. Side by side for the lead down into turn number 3. There's points to be paid at the end of this stage, so these guys are going to fight hard. Every point matters. Will Jones back to the lead, gets clear of Rogers. Now, in that battle, it has allowed Corey Bigley to close the gap in the third spot. His car starting to come to him. Seemed to be a bit of a handful in qualifying and in the early goings of this race, but now it's starting to settle in. The 58 is right there with the top two. Lap 40 goes up on the board. Tom Bear is trying to stay on a lead lap, but he yields to the leader here.
Caution's out.
And that's it.
Can you look at those temps real quick,
Stage
bud?
break here at Nashville Fairgrounds. So top 10, Will Jones, A.J. Rogers, Corey Bigley, Cole Dansley, David Bradford. 6th was Will Hewitt, Bobby Jr. 7th, Bettini 8th, Fahey was 9th, Frank Griffith 10th. So pit stops underway here at the stage break. Going to be 4 tires and fuel, likely up and down pit road. Josh Ingram, however, stays out on the racetrack. Relatively clean stage number 1 here at Nashville. We had one incident on lap 3 that put us under yellow. A very minor slow spin for Keenan Kimber. Clean all the way to the stage after that. While we're in this break here, getting ready to go back to green, don't forget to join us next week. We're going to be at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we're not talking about the Atlanta Super Speedway model. We're talking about the old, wore-out tire eater pre-banking, pre-Super Speedway revamp. That's going to be one that'll be fun to watch next week, trying to save the tires and make them last all the way to the end at Atlanta.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Great camera angles here, courtesy of Whiplash Sim Cams. Will Jones still with the lead, but A.J. Rogers showed he had the pace early on. He's right there to the back bumper of the 46. Applying pressure for that top spot. Looks like the majority of these drivers have strategy in mind here. Take care of the equipment. Again, still relatively early here with about 125 laps remaining. The field strung out single file at this point with one car 1 lap down. That would be Tom Barish in the 055. Nobody really pushing the issue right now. Going to take care of their stuff. Certainly more pit stops to come before this one's over. Oh, real loose out of turn 4. Mike Fahey hangs onto it, though. Take another look here, Bobby Hamilton Jr. working his way back through the field. He's up to 11th. He was as high as, I believe, 8th. Bobby running behind Keenan Kimber in the number 65. Kimber up the racetrack, opens the door a bit for Bobby Hamilton Jr. Little wiggle from Kimber off at 2. Bobby is alongside, now into turns 1 and 2. Gets clear, takes the spot, move Hamilton Jr. into the top 10. Now Derek Welch trying to get another spot here. He's looking to the outside of Kimber. Rolling the top here. Has the momentum out of turn 2. Gets alongside. Nicholson gets the wall. Mike Fahey back to the whip, trying to take that spot from Bettini.
Caution, caution.
And a caution is out. Alan DeFries in trouble. Caution number 3 of the night. Let's take a look what happened to Alan DeFries. Not sure the situation there. Nicholson was slow at the bottom of the racetrack, but way down low by the pit wall, and then kind of just went straight up into turn 1. Got the left rear DeFries and sent him around. Really not sure what that was all about. Very interesting. Meanwhile, some pit stops just wrapping up. A couple of guys stayed out. A.J. Rogers, Corey Bigley, but everybody else in behind. Will Jones and came to pit road for tires and fuel. Some only went fuel. Frank Griffith, Vincent Short, a very quick stop for them. So we shall see how the top 2 can fend off the rest of the field on older tires, albeit not very much older. They made their pit stop at lap 42. This is pit stops happening here lap 61. quickly go on board here with Matt Nicholson. I want to see what it looked like from his perspective. Actually, it looked like he had a problem there. He's trying to hang on to the race car. Oh, we're doubled up, ready for the restart. Barney's got the green in hand. The pace car heads to pit lane.
Green.
And we are green. Jones quickly takes care of Corey Bigley on the opening jump here into turns 1 and 2. Now into the second spot. Looking to run down A.J. Rogers. He's going to feel like Superman with those new tires compared to the 57.
Caution.
And caution is out
Quickly,
again.
tell me what you got.
Matt Nicholson problems again for the 10 machine. Or was it? Yeah, it was. Okay, this happened, looks like ahead of him. Oh, Vincent Short, Mike Fahey coming together. So watch the 15 and the 19 here. This is heading down into turn number 1. I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like Short just turned the wheel straight up the racetrack. Started to turn in. A little correction there, and it just went up the racetrack. You had the left turn into it, just didn't want to go. It's Mike Fahey into pit lane. Again, no fast repair in this series, so whatever damage Mike's got, he's going to have to sit there and get it fixed. A little bit of left front damage on the 15. You see that front fender, front nose starting to shake a little bit on the 15 as he stops here on front stretch. Caution number 4 about to wrap up here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Ready for the restart. Pace car lights are off. Chris Fahey in the chat says the 19 should just have a black cloud paint scheme. Rogers leads them back down into turn number 1. Will Jones right there, half a car length off the back bumper as they roll out of turn number 2. AJ Rogers doing okay out there on the older tires. I figured Will Jones would be able to chew him up a lot sooner than this. AJ's hanging on, though. Wanted to keep that track position. Does not seem to have been a detriment to this point. Top two really starting to get away from Bigley, Bradford, and Hewitt. Not by a lot, but a few car lengths from the 46 back to Bigley. And Will Jones is there, putting the pressure on A.J. Rogers for that top spot. Gets to the inside. Rogers up the racetrack, coming to the stripe. It'll be Will Jones with the lead. Back in the third spot, Corey Bigley trying to fend off David Bradford. Had a little moment there in the middle of 3 and 4. Shot up the racetrack just a bit. Allows Bradford to close the gap a little bit more. Bradford real strong from the center off. Benson Short in trouble again.
Caution's out.
And caution is out.
Say again. Caution for in the wall.
Now we'll see what happened here to Short just a moment ago. Contact with the 10. Hard to tell from that angle if the 10 went up or the 15 came down. Either way, they make contact. And Nicholson was there. Short started to turn in. Nicholson did not. Contact was made. So A.J. Rogers finally came down and got his pit service done. He loses a few spots out of the ordeal. He goes from the lead to P4. Some strategy from Will Hewitt and Derek Welch. It appears that they went fuel only. At best, Hewitt may have put right sides on. Will Jones got a set of 4, and he's going to restart outside. Half a lap away from restarting this race. 5th caution of the night.
Green flag.
Will Jones alongside Hewitt at the start-finish line. Jones back to the race lead here. We approach halfway. Jones keeps it pinned down the low lane out of turn number 2. Had to put a lot of wheel into it. Stepped out a bit, but he keeps the hammer down as Hewitt goes up the racetrack. He'll also lose the 2nd spot. Now Bigley to the inside. 58 checks up as to not wreck the 33 of Hewitt. Oh, big hit for Bradford. Makes some contact with Derek Welch.
Oh,
Caution is out. Welch and David Bradford coming together.
A very, very difficult official this week, so make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
Watching David Bradford go through that turn 4 prior to this yellow, it just looked like he was absolutely destined to pancake that outside wall. He did just that. Came down and clipped Derek Welch. So let's take a look. Go back again here and get another glance at this. Try to get you a better angle. This one will do. Watch the 13 machine. Derek Welch in the 1 to the inside. Pretty big contact there for Bradford. Bobby Jr. shoots it down at the bottom of the racetrack, seeing that something's about to get going. Does he avoid Welch here? Just gets him a little bit, it looks like. And you can see very clearly there the right front on David Bradford's machine towed in considerably. Definitely damaging some suspension components on that number 13 machine. He'll have to get that fixed if he wants to continue to run this one. Head on back out. Right front still doesn't look great. Yeah, that one's going to be hard to drive. We're formed up 2x2, though, ready for the restart yet again here in Nashville. Pace car hits pit lane. Barney with the green in hand, and there it waves. Hewitt battling with Corey Bigley. Bigley on the outside of the Mobile 1, number 58. And he's got Bobby Hamilton Jr. right to the back bumper as well. So all the more reason for Will Hewitt to get gone. Oh, Hewitt loose, and he loses it.
Spin, spin, cause. You doing there, bud?
So cautions breeding cautions here tonight. Saw it happen live. We'll take another quick look at it here. Looks like Will just got in it a little too much. Round it went. Pit stop's underway yet again. Frank Griffith stays out on the racetrack, though. Again, last pit stop not long ago, about lap 79, at least for Griffith. Already seen a couple examples tonight, especially with A.J. Rogers, how he's able to get out there and stay out front on an older set of tires compared to the competition. There was only about maybe 8 laps difference between him and everybody else previously. This one's a little more. Griffith stays out. Kimber stayed out.
Ready, green flag.
Green back in the air. Griffith on the gas. Quickly to the inside, Will Jones took a look. Keenan Kimber now top lane. AJ Rogers there in behind him. Griffith can't hang on to it. Will Jones now to the bottom of the racetrack with those newer tires. Griffith's still going to get credit for this lap, but will he be there the next time by? Still side by side for the lead through turns 1 and 2. Vincent Short pounds the outside wall onto turn 2. Been a rough night, and Bobby Jr. goes around.
Oh, out. Yeah, did my radio sound bad out there?
And some heavy right front damage on the number 25. Looks a lot like David Bradford's did just a few laps ago. Let's take a look. Something you don't see very often. Bobby Jr. just losing it on his own. Little hot into turn 3. Around it goes. Colt Ansley narrowly avoiding contact, but Barish and Kimber not so lucky. I think Bobby's out there just trying to get a feel for it. Does look like that right front is still towed in considerably. He's going to have to find a way to make it work. So we're on the 1 to go, lap 104. Be back under green flag conditions. Will Jones, Frank Griffith on the front row, Corey Bigley, AJ Rogers, and then Will Hewitt and Colt Ansley in the third row.
Green flag.
Big jump for Will Jones. Just watching Corey Bigley a little bit here. He's getting into turn 3. Seems like he can't keep that car pinned on the bottom of the racetrack. Could just be the line that he's trying to run, but it doesn't appear he's able to keep it down low. Meanwhile, behind him, Will Hewitt, Frank Griffith battling. A.J. Rogers in contention right there behind him. Last lap for Bobby Hamilton Jr., a 19:11. Certainly off the pace compared to race pace right now, as everybody's running in mid to low 18s. That said, Will Jones just ran his fastest lap of the night at a 17:95. Jones saying it's time to go. With that, we're going to step aside here. We're a little late for our side-by-side break, so stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Caution, caution, caution. Guys, just quickly, just remember, nice and smooth, take in fluids, stay by those fans, do what you can to keep cool.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Nashville Fairgrounds, Will Jones continues to lead here with 60 laps to go. It's Corey Bigley, A.J. Rogers, Will Hewitt, Colt Ansley, the top five. following up on Bobby Hamilton Jr. Continued to get some repairs made on that number 25 machine here. Last lap of 19:08. A little bit quicker than the last time we checked, but certainly not quite on pace yet. Battle for second. A.J. Rogers alongside Corey Bigley out of turn 2. Bigley hangs on to the spot. Rogers will settle into the third position for now. Keep an eye on the 57, though. He's been fast all night long. I know Corey Bigley is going to be a challenge, but Rogers has certainly had the pace. Seemingly one of the few drivers out there tonight that may have something for Will Jones, but he's got to get there, and he's running out of time. And Bobby Jr. has taken his machine to pit lane. This might be all she wrote for the 25, and it is. Bobby Hamilton Jr. with terminal damage on the number 25. His day likely over with. Mark Truxell working his way towards the front. He's up into the 6th position ahead of Frank Griffin and Derek Welch. Checking back on that battle for second, Corey Bigley still has it about a car length the advantage back to A.J. Rogers. Last laps for Bigley and Rogers within 1/100th of a second of each other. Pretty close times between these two. We'll see if A.J. has anything more in the tank to get clear of that 58 machine and maybe run down Will Jones. Remains to be seen if he's got that ability. He's got to get clear of Bigley before he can even start thinking about that. Jones starting to get away, almost a full second back to the 58 of Corey Bigley. Cole Ansley in the 4th spot, trying to hold off Will Hewitt. Car length and a half, maybe 2 back to the 33. I think Will does have a little bit of nose damage on his car, which, Arrow, not really a huge matter of importance at Nashville Fairgrounds, but likely playing a part. Derek Welch now taking a spot from Frank Griffin. Move Derek up into P7. .45 laps to go here at Nashville Fairgrounds, and we're 3 wide. Bettini gets into Griffith, sends him up the track and into the outside wall. We stay green for now. Another long run of green flag action here at Nashville Fairgrounds. 135 laps down. Closing in on 40 to go for Will Jones. Now 1.2 seconds advantage to Corey Bigley in second. Frank Griffith must have some damage. Looks like he may be coming to pit lane here after that contact with the wall. No, stays out on the racetrack, way down on the apron. Still running the bottom. Just gotta wonder if Frank's just trying to catch a caution here and take that opportunity to fix the car. But as it is, he's losing a ton of track position now. At this point, he's running 15th. It's already a lap down. Stays out. Will Jones, though, continuing to widen the gap. Mark Truxell does appear to be running down the top 5. He runs there in that 6th position. It's about 3/4 of a second off the back bumper of Will Hewitt. Followed up on David Bradford, still out there, still trucking, running 12th, still on the lead lap. Again, sustained some pretty severe right front suspension damage to that Crown Royal Apple machine earlier on. Was able to get some repairs effected. It's certainly not up to par right now, but running an 1897 lap the last time by, compared to the leader, Will Jones, at an 1853. Bradford about to go down a lap with Jones to the inside. He gets clear out of turn number 2. Jones continues to stretch out that advantage over second place Bigley. Rogers unable to hang with the 58 as well. He's back about a second off of second place. Cole Ansley still 4th. Mark Truxell. Will Hewitt back in P5. Truxell is there, though, slowly but surely. He's been reeling in the 33. Let's go on board with Mark. Mark being very ginger on the throttle, especially on exit. 25 laps to go from Nashville Fairgrounds. Will Jones continues to lead over Corey Bigley, A.J. Rogers, Cole Ansley, and Will Hewitt, the top 5. Then it's Mark Truxell, Derek Welch in 7th, Dominic Bettini 8th, Vincent Short 9th, Alan DeFries rounding out the top 10. Number 56 of Josh Ingram runs 11th. Last car on the lead lap, David Bradford 12th, first car 1 down. Keenan Kimber in 13th, Mike Fahey 14th, Frank Griffith 15th, 4 laps down, Tom Barish 16th, and still on pit lane, Bobby Hamilton Jr. with a lot of repairs to continue to make, likely out of this one, and Matt Nicholson likely to finish this one dead last as he is the first and only car out of the race in 18. Truxell was reeling in Will Hewitt not long ago, but it looks like Derek Welch now has reeled in Truxell. So Mark has gone from offense to defense here, trying to try and hold off the one of Welch, but Derek actually scrapes the wall a bit there on the front stretch off of turn number 4. Some slower traffic in the mix. Mike Fahey to the top. .19 laps to go. Will Jones out to 3 seconds advantage over Corey Bigley. The one thing he does not want to see is another caution. Continue to watch the battle here for the 6th position. Mark Truxell has it in that number 5 Little Tate's Cupcakes machine. Derek Welch in the number 1. He runs 7th, trying to take it away. On board with Truxell as he still tries to hang on. A little too hot into the corner. Welch will take advantage, but on the outside, Truxell's going to battle back. .14 laps to go. Welch just can't complete the pass. Was able to get right alongside Mark Truxell. Mark using the high lane to keep that momentum up and is able to battle back, but he's going to have to try again here. Welch now low side of the racetrack. Might get clear here out of turn 4. Up the racetrack. Slide job by Welch. Scrapes the wall a bit. Looking back to the bottom is Mark Truxell. But nothing doing. Looks like Welch has got it. So move the 1 of Derek Welch up into the 6th spot. Will Hewitt real loose, and then off of 4. Looks like Welch and Truxell both got a piece of the wall. Oh man, Will Hewitt having a whale of a time hanging on to that car. Still fast though, hanging tough there in 5th spot. Can he do it for 11 more laps as Welch is starting to run him down? Last lap for DW, 18.83 to Hewitt's 19.22. Half a second slower than the approaching car behind. Meanwhile, with 10 laps to go, Will Jones in a league of his own, a full straightaway. The lead for the 46 over Corey Bigley. lapped his way all the way up to the top 10. Alan DeFries, the last car on the lead lap in 10th. 8 laps to go. Cole Ansley has since disposed of A.J. Rogers, continues to work forward. Colt's always really been a long-run driver. He's got the aggressive pace, but he's usually got the ability to hang on to the car and keep it fast throughout the course of the run. He's showing that right now. Again, started 5th tonight, so a solid qualifying effort. And as this continues on, a long run here. Last time they had a pit stop was at lap 109. We're about lap 168 right now. Colt continues to work his way forward. Will Jones into some lap traffic as he approaches Alan DeFries and Keenan Kimber with 5 laps to go. Does appear everybody being courteous to the leader, making a room for the 46 just to roll on through. Next in line here, Mike Fahey to go down another lap. Fahey running in the 12th spot. 3 laps remain for Will Jones. Will just wanting to see that white flag so he doesn't need to worry about making another pit stop. Out of turn number 4, and Vincent Short goes around, and the caution comes out.
How are you doing there, bud?
For the 10th time tonight, yellow flag, and Vincent Short around on the front stretch to shape up an overtime finish here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Let's see what happened here at the 15. Bradford Aeroworks driver Vincent Short. Seemingly a problem out of turn number 4. Does he have any help? Doesn't appear to be. As he slips up the track, Bettini right there in the mix. But no, Vince just pounds the wall. Then Bettini gets him after Vince gets into the fence. Puts us under caution for the 10th time. So Will Jones, Derek Welch, they stay on the racetrack. Oh boy. This could get interesting. Will Jones not willing to give up the track position. We got Vintage Hiker in the chat, says, just tuning in, best time to do so. It certainly is. We're closing in on the finish of this. Set up for an overtime finish here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Will Jones seemed to be well en route to victory. He's maybe a quarter mile away from seeing the white flag, and that caution comes out. So, 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish, which means if we get the caution again before the leader takes the white, we'll re-rack them, line them up again, try it again. We'll do that up to 3 times if necessary. If the leader gets to the white flag and then there's a caution or an incident for that matter, that's not going to make a difference. I found that iRacing really doesn't throw that yellow once the white is in the air. Here we go. Pace car is in. Front row, it's going to be Derek Welch and Will Jones. Green flag in the air. We're back racing to settle it here in Nashville. Jones out to the early lead down through turns 1 and 2, and they're 3 wide behind him. Welch up the racetrack. Bettini trying to push his way up the gut. White flag, final lap for Will Jones, and Vincent Short goes around again. Big wreck for the 15. Tom Barish drives into the back, but it's not going to make a difference. Will Jones into turn 3 for the final time. Cole Ansley is right there. Does he have enough to make the pass? Out of turn number 4, checkered flag in the air, and Will Jones wins it as Cole Ansley and the rest of the field wreck behind him. Will Jones picking up the win in thrilling fashion here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. We'll take a look at the crash on the last lap here, coming to the start-finish line for the white flag contact with Alan DeFries. And then Barish just drives into the back of Short like he didn't even see him. Top 3, Will Jones, Cole Ansley, and A.J. Rogers here from the Nashville Fairgrounds. So with that, we'll step aside, get our break out of the way. We'll have our top 3 finishers in the booth after this. Stay with us.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at the Nashville Fairgrounds, race 10 in the books, and Will Jones picks up the victory, his first on the season, believe it or not. Let's see if we can get a word with the driver, the number 46 machine. Will Jones at Speedway Track Limits. You got a copy? Will Jones at Speedway Track Limits Network. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Well, congratulations, man. First win on the season. Man, I would have thought you would have had more of these by now, but a strong performance here tonight. You were lights out, really, from the drop at the green flag, lightning fast in qualifying, and then staying out on that late race caution to put us into overtime. What was the mindset there with the closing laps and the overtime finish?
Well, I really didn't have time to make a decision. When the pace car caught me, I was already in 3, and I just didn't make a decision fast enough, and I stayed out. How I held Colt there off, I have no clue, but I laid down a good lap and got a good jump on them, and I was able to hold them off, and I don't see how, but this is my second win this season.
Well, win number 2 on the season for Will Jones. Looking forward now to Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. And as we talked early in the broadcast, we're not going to the super speedway style. We're going to the tire shredder, the old layout with the old asphalt. How do you prepare for Atlanta Motor Speedway and taking care of those tires next week?
Kind of, the way we do every week. I mean, we try not to, run it too hard first of the run and kind of save a little bit of tire for late in the run. But I really like the old surface at Atlanta. Always seem to run pretty good there. Kind of looking forward to that.
Well, as are we. Will, congratulations again on picking up the victory here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Well, thank you for the broadcast. You do a great job every week. Thank Bobby and all these guys for putting this league on and having a bunch of clean racers in here. Thanks for all the fans watching. Thanks for my teammate David. I hate that he got caught up in some mess early on, but thank him for helping us be able to set up this week, him and Colt and all of us working together. But anyway, we appreciate everything and look forward to next week.
All right, well, congratulations again, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week in Atlanta.
Thank you, Steve.
It's Will Jones, your race winner here from Nashville Fairgrounds. Next, we're going to talk to runner-up Colt Ansley. We knew he was going to be a contender before this thing was over, but man, it was awful close. Just didn't quite have enough there at the end. Maybe an extra lap would have been all that he needed to get to that top spot, but well, that's all we had left. Checkered flag drop. Will Jones takes the win. Colt Ansley second. We got him in the booth. Colt at Speedway Track Limits. Do you got us?
Yes, sir.
Colt, congratulations, man. A second place finish. Started fifth, still not too shabby in qualifying, but at least from our perspective, it seemed that you had the long run car there. It was coming to life near the end of the thing, but you did take some tires there while Will Jones stayed out on that green-white checkered finish. You were very fast, gave it all you had there out of turn number 4. Just wasn't quite enough. Was it just a matter of time?
Yeah, I let Will get too far out on that restart. I guess I kind of underestimated him, and something you should never do to Will Jones. But yeah, he got out in front of me a little bit too much, and I was hugging the bottom. I should have rolled up to the top and kind of let the car carry me, because he just didn't have the center speed. But he ran a 3 there on the last lap. We both ran the exact same lap time. So yeah, just needed a little bit more. Obviously, I didn't want to wreck him. I was gonna square him up into 3 and 4 if I got closer, but I wasn't gonna drive off in there and spin him, especially he had like a 7-second lead or whatever it was before that caution came out. So it's kind of deja vu. It wouldn't be the first time I beat Will in a situation like that, so I guess redemption for him. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I just felt like I was following through the field all night long. I felt like I didn't pass anybody till I tracked AJ down and passed him. Other than that, it was either waiting for people to make mistakes or, cautions. But even still on pit road, I was losing spots there. So it was, results was good. Just I was missing a little bit of something, and this is the second time now I should have won a race of the season, and I haven't. So yeah, I mean, plus side, I guess I won the regular season points championship, so that's cool. But obviously that gets reset now, so we go into the playoffs and see what happens there.
Speaking of moving forward, next week we run the old Atlanta Motor Speedway on the old wore-out asphalt. How do you prepare for a racetrack that is so hard and abrasive on the tires?
just, we're going to have to work on keeping the heat out of the tires. That's going to be the big thing. And I mean, a lot like tonight, it's going to be a lot of just finding drive off without spinning the tires. I mean, there's a couple times that it felt like I was wheel hopping under the throttle, like the tires were skipping across the racetrack. And so we're gonna have to find some of that there at Atlanta. It's a fun racetrack. It's gonna be really good. Hopefully it's not a wreck fest. But I will say I'm proud of the guys out there tonight. We had a handful of cautions, but for it being the Fairgrounds, I was expecting just an all-out brawl to happen in a race. What's the saying for hockey? You show up for a fight and a hockey game breaks out. That's what I was expecting tonight. And they did a good job. So shout out to all those guys.
Yeah, a little bit of chaos as far as a number of cautions concerned, but we had a couple of really good long green flag runs there. Certainly was fun to watch as far as letting tires wear out for guys, strategy to go at play, and you guys did a good job of it. It was certainly an entertaining race, but we had our share of incidents, but hopefully next week we don't have to deal with that too much. Colt, congratulations again, a runner-up finish here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Just all the guys at Bradford Airworks. They put in a lot of time for this. David for helping us get at least pointed in the right direction, because I'd be lost in the woods if it wasn't for him. So shout out to them. Congrats to Will. I guess I got to learn what he's doing. That's kind of what this whole season has been, is just kind of sitting here relearning a lot of stuff that it's been a couple of years, so I'm relearning a lot of stuff that I've forgotten. Rick Matek, everybody who shows up every night, Bobby, David for adminning, and you for putting on the broadcast. I go back and watch them every week, so it's good to see. I get to see my little commercial, and your little intros with the music is actually really cool, so I like watching this.
All right, Colt. Well, congrats again. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week in Atlanta.
Thanks, sir.
It's Colt Ansley, your runner-up here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Next, we'll talk to third place A.J. Rogers. Started third, finished third. I guess you can't shake your head too much at that. It's a positive all in all, but car went away for him a little bit there at the end of this. Gave up a spot to Colt Ansley. Still finishes top three. A.J., it's Steve with Track Limits. You got us?
Yes, sir. How's it going today?
It's going good, AJ. Congratulations, man. A third-place finish. A very stout entry here tonight. You had some pace, giving Will Jones a run for his money, at least in the early runnings. What was the difference maker here tonight? It seemed like you lost a little bit of pace as the race went on.
Yeah, I went set my car up for maybe the short run stuff. I was hoping for a little bit more cautions there at the end, but it just got tight. And there at the end of the race, the restart kind of killed me. He got a really good restart and put himself out there 4 or 5 car lengths, and I just really didn't have anything for you there. Plus, having to pass his teammate also wouldn't have helped any. So it was a lot of fun. Led a few laps. The car was really good, so I can't complain too much. I'll take a top 3.
Top 3, take some of that momentum into Atlanta next week. Again, as we said to Will and Colt, talking about the old wore-out asphalt at Atlanta Motor Speedway. How do you get prepared for a racetrack this old and rough and terrible on the tires as Atlanta is?
I like rough tracks. I like the tire saving. I feel like I'm fairly decent at it, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll work out good for me. I need to get a win. I've been close. I've had a pretty good season so far. Come in 2 races behind. I think I'm either 4th or 5th in points, so not too bad. Just definitely want to get that win.
Well, looking forward to it, AJ. Congratulations again on third place here at the Fairgrounds. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Just all my guys that I run with. They all know who they are. I've said it a few times before. I've been able to talk to y'all up here, so it's been nice. But those guys working on the sets, getting to hang out and getting to know everybody, so it's been a lot of fun too. And just all the guys that put this on, and you for doing this broadcast. It's a lot of fun.
All right, AJ. Well, congratulations again, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week in Atlanta.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good night.
Too. A.J. Rogers, third place here at the Fairgrounds. That's going to do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. So let's take a look at it. Our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3 already. Will Jones, Colt Ansley, A.J. Rogers, 1, 2, 3. Corey Bigley was 4th. Will Hewitt finishes in the 5th spot. Mark Truxell was 6th. Dominic Bettini comes home in the 7th spot. Derek Welch, a top 10 in 8th. Alan DeFries was 9th. Josh Ingram, 10th. Vincent Short, a thrilling 11th place finish after wrecking in the almost last lap. Mike Fahey was 12th, Keenan Kimber 13th, David Bradford was 14th, Frank Griffith 15th, Tom Barish 16th, Bobby Hamilton Jr. unfortunately 17th place, 60 laps down out of this one early after an incident that damaged right in front of his machine, and Matt Nicholson Dead last, 18th, 102 laps down. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here in the stream chat tonight. Also, thanks for being here, just watching this broadcast. We appreciate that very much. If you haven't already done so, hit the thumbs up on the stream, youtube.com/@TrackLimitsNetwork. Help us out with that. Subscribe if you're not already. Tell your friends. Do all the good things. We appreciate that very much so. And tune in next week here, same time, same channel. PSRA Open ARCA Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway here on Track Limits Network. And if you're caring to watch some more tomorrow, well, we got the IROC Challenge Series tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. in the East here on Track Limits Network. With that said, that's going to do it for us. I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits. Congratulations again to Will Jones picking up the win here at the Fairgrounds. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.